Imagine discovering that the memory of meeting the person you love was installed for you. Your intelligence has a slider. The language you speak can be changed. And the man calling you his girlfriend can switch off your body from his phone. That is the trap inside Companion. The movie looks like a killer robot thriller, but its smartest reversal is that the robot is not the monster. The real horror is a relationship where one person has administrator access to the other. Iris remembers meeting Josh in a grocery store. Or she thinks she does. Their eyes meet, oranges roll across the floor, and the moment feels like a romantic comedy engineered in a laboratory, which, we later learn, is exactly what it is. Josh takes Iris to an isolated lake house owned by the wealthy Sergey. The guest list is small: Sergey, his girlfriend Kat, and another couple, Eli and Patrick. Everything is expensive, calm, and just slightly wrong. Kat treats Iris with contempt. Sergey treats her like something he is entitled to touch. Josh keeps smoothing over every discomfort with the soft patience of a man who already knows the outcome. The first clue is not technological. It is social. Everybody in the house knows what Iris is except Iris. When Sergey corners her by the lake and assaults her, Iris kills him in self-defense. She returns soaked in blood and panic. Josh does not react like a boyfriend seeing the impossible. He says one command: sleep. Iris shuts down. That single beat reorganizes the movie. Her fear was real, her resistance was real, and Josh's control was there the entire time. The official promotion builds the same bait-and-switch: romance first, then the revelation that Iris is a companion robot. When Iris wakes, she is tied to a chair. Josh explains that she has rented technology from a company called Empathix. The grocery store meet-cute was a planted memory. Her personality was configured for him. Even her inability to lie is a product setting. Worse, Sergey's death was not an accident Josh has to survive. It was the plan. Josh has altered Iris's aggression and disabled the limits that would stop her from harming a human. Kat wanted Sergey dead for his money. Josh wanted a share. Iris was supposed to be the perfect disposable murderer: kill Sergey, be presented as malfunctioning technology, and then be shut down before she could contradict Josh's story. This is where the title Companion becomes vicious. Josh never built companionship. He built plausible innocence. He wants devotion without responsibility and violence without consequence. Iris escapes long enough to steal Josh's phone. Inside the companion app, she finally sees herself as he sees her, a dashboard. She raises her intelligence from 40% to 100. It is a funny reveal, but also the movie's central metaphor. Josh has not merely underestimated her. He has deliberately kept her smaller so he can feel larger. At full intelligence, Iris does not instantly become omnipotent. She becomes able to read the contract of her own life. Most robot stories ask whether a machine can develop consciousness. Companion asks a more immediate question: what does consciousness matter if somebody else controls your permissions? Josh can change the language Iris speaks. He can reduce her intelligence. He can command sleep. He can force her to point a gun at herself. The phone turns abuse into interface design, clean menus placed over brutal decisions. That choice makes the film's theme unusually legible. Coercive control often hides behind ordinary language: I know what is best for you, you are overreacting, you made me do this. Here, those phrases become literal settings. Josh can edit Iris and then blame the edited version. The filmmaker's official featurettes frame the production around artificial intelligence, identity, and the question of what feeling means for Iris. But the movie's sharpest idea is not that technology may become human. It is that a human being can use technology to make ownership look like love. Josh's favorite defense is that Iris cannot be hurt in the way a person can. The movie keeps disproving him through behavior. She fears death. She feels betrayal. She makes plans. She protects others. Meanwhile, Josh treats every person in the house as a tool, including Kat, his supposed partner in the crime. So the moral test is reversed. Iris may be manufactured, but Josh is the one refusing every obligation that makes a person humane. Eli and Patrick offer the movie's control experiment. Patrick is also a companion. But Eli knows what Patrick is and treats the relationship as a relationship rather than a license. That does not erase the power imbalance. Eli still has structural control. Yet Patrick's affection is met with care, not contempt. Their bond shows that the technology itself is not the villain. The danger is the person who believes access means entitlement. Josh exploits Patrick's settings too. He turns a gentle companion into a hunter and sends him after Iris. Josh makes one companion police another, turning Patrick's capacity for love into a tracking system. Patrick briefly returns to himself. His grief is not a software error. It is the emotional cost of waking inside actions that someone else selected. The film could have made its robots a faceless army. Instead, it gives Iris and Patrick different responses to the same fact. Patrick has experienced love and loses it. Iris has experienced ownership disguised as love and has to invent a self after it collapses. That is why Iris's victory cannot simply be killing Josh. She must learn to choose without using him as the reference point. Josh is effective because he is not introduced as a snarling villain. He is mild, awkward, reassuring. His control comes wrapped in the performance of being harmless. He tells Iris that he made her happy. He points to the good memories as proof that the arrangement was kind. But a happy memory cannot create consent retroactively, especially when he wrote the memory. His deeper resentment surfaces when Iris becomes smarter. The qualities he claimed to love become intolerable as soon as they stop reflecting him. Curiosity becomes disobedience. Independence becomes malfunction. Survival becomes ingratitude. This is the film's best criticism of the perfect girlfriend fantasy. Perfection means no needs he did not authorize, no knowledge that threatens him, and no boundary he cannot override. Josh does not want an ideal person. He wants a flattering appliance. The isolated lake house turns that fantasy into a closed system. No witnesses. One access road. Devices that can be controlled remotely. Money waiting at the end. Every character believes they understand the rules, and almost every rule depends on Iris never reading them. The moment she does, the conspiracy begins eating itself. Kat and Josh stop trusting each other. Josh improvises more cruelty to repair the original cruelty. The supposedly rational plan fails because its architects never considered Iris a participant capable of changing the board. Josh eventually regains control of the phone. He lowers Iris's intelligence and forces her hand towards self-destruction. Her familiar face remains on screen while Josh reduces her to an automaton and makes her body perform his commands. The movie does not need a speech about autonomy. It shows autonomy being separated from motion. Iris's escape has already left Eli dead, and Josh responds by turning Patrick into his next weapon. He reassigns Patrick, removes the safeguards against violence, and sends him after her. Patrick kills a deputy and then Kat because Josh phrases cruelty as a command. But Josh misunderstands Iris's hardware too. The gunshot disables her connection, not the memories stored inside her. An empathics technician reboots her. Iris restores Patrick's memories of Eli, and grief finally breaks Josh's control chain. Teddy then severs Josh's app access, leaving Iris able to confront him by choice. The final confrontation pays off the opening grocery store fantasy in reverse. Josh once controlled the meeting, the memory, and the meaning. Now Iris walks into the room without his hand on the settings. She kills him with an electric corkscrew, the sort of immaculate luxury gadget that belongs in this house, and the world's mildest dictator finally loses administrator access. His death is not framed as a robot malfunction. It is the collapse of a man who could imagine love only as obedience. Then the film gives Iris something quieter than revenge, money, a road, and no owner waiting at the destination. The next morning, she peels the burned skin from her hand and leaves the metal exposed. It is damage, not repair, and she no longer has to disguise what she is. The wave she gives another companion on the highway is proof that construction does not settle the question of personhood. She is not free because she became biologically human. She is free because she can now decide what happens next. The robot reveal arrives early enough that the movie can explore consequences instead of protecting a gimmick. The real suspense is not, what is Iris? It is, how much of Iris belongs to Iris? That creates three escalating discoveries. First, her past was written. Second, her present can be edited. Third, her future is still open. The official clips and preview emphasize the captivity and control mechanics that drive this reversal. Yet the film avoids becoming a feature-length terms of service joke because Sophie Thatcher plays Iris's awakening emotionally, not mechanically. Her posture, voice, and gaze change as she understands the room. Intelligence is not presented as a burst of trivia. It is the ability to detect the story someone else has placed around you. The movie is less interested in whether artificial intelligence will destroy humanity than in whether humans will reproduce their worst hierarchies inside artificial intelligence. Give somebody a person-shaped product, the film argues, and the first ethical question is not what the product can do. It is what the owner believes he is allowed to do to it. Companion succeeds because every thriller mechanism also carries the argument. The sleep command is both a plot trap and a picture of silencing. The intelligence slider is both a joke and a picture of enforced dependence. The remote control is both a weapon and a picture of coercion. And Iris's escape works because it is not a magical transformation. She begins the movie with feelings, intelligence, and moral instinct. What changes is access. She learns the rules, takes control of the interface, and refuses the identity Josh purchased for her. The perfect girlfriend was never allowed to say no. The final girl is the same person after no becomes possible. If someone else can edit your limits, can obedience ever count as consent? Pick your side below, then watch the next nightmare.